Whole sports all place.
Rebel soul child got a fist ball, I'm a respawn of ancestors, and I'm blessed, They are not him, tell him fess up, I get checked up, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless, yeah, I got next up, right, no we not the same, cause see when I look in your iris, you likely to talk but not ready to ride, you do better keeping it quiet, my pen is ignited, my soul is enlightened, I like who I am, but I'm biased, the palette is right, and my drip is a fountain, I'm not like these regular guys, all of that talk is misguided, she like the way I make the tape print, but the way I make the words play is grim, I'm the reaper reaching for the kill switch, the label cut the check like the blazement, something sparking where his brain is, the beat is somewhere where they prayers in, Geronimo the way I make the bass jump when no parachute is taken.
What is going on, everyone? This is Throwing Hands. This is its second ever live pre-fight show. We got Ruf 54. I'm here with my boy James. How you feeling, man?
Man, feeling great, man. And another Ruf 54.
Yeah.
This is our second, like you said, pre-fight live show. Look who we have here joining us.
Ooh, we got Wreck-It Rhyme himself.
Right on time, man. It's setting up for another exciting weekend. We have a fully stacked card. Jason does such a great job of getting these fights put together. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, we got the sheet right here. We got 9 fights leading up. 2 of them are professional bouts. We got 1 amateur title. It's going to be the amateur flyweight belt with Trenton Byers versus Morreno. This is unbelievably stacked, you know.
The fighter's champion. His second title defense of the year. Coming off of a wonderful way to end 2022 with the title win.
Yep.
Getting the title Ryan Benavidez.
Yeah.
Is that Ruf 52?
I believe so. It was like Ruf 52, Ruf 51.
Yeah, so great way. I mean, here we are, April. He's already on his second title defense. That's why we call him fighter's champion.
Yeah. And I mean, you look at the storyline that's been built so far with how Trenton came in to dominate the scene. He fought and won a unanimous decision against Antonio Ruiz.
Right.
Then he defends his belt against Brian Benavidez and get to the first round submission with a rear naked choke. Now going into this fight with Yanni, we have to remember Brian actually beat Yanni in their last bout, and so Yanni is coming off of a loss. But I'm really interested to see how this fight is going to play out, because I know that he's not going to go with the same game plan, and he's going to come more tactical and more aggressive this time around.
Yeah, no, for sure, and that's one of the big things about this. The guys that he's actually gone in the ring faced. We were talking about this yesterday in an interview with him at the weigh-ins. No slouches. There's not one opponent that
not a single one
look at and say, okay, he was supposed to win this, or this was a lopsided, fight coming into it. Every single time this man stepped in the cage, he stepped in the cage with freaking killer. Every single time.
Yeah.
And we have another one tonight. Morreno's no slouch. Morreno is, I don't know if you've seen him yesterday, but he's jacked. Looks great coming into the fight.
Phenomenal shape.
He weighed in at a 124.6. So, and like Jason said yesterday, that's contender's weight, So he's here, he's game, he's ready. And, that just makes Trenton that much better than he does pass or, get these victories and move on to the next one, because he's fighting guys that are prepared, not only in themselves, but for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And it shows not only the Trent's heart on display, but it shows his skill set on display. Because you got to remember, too, a lot of these guys that he's been fighting so far have been coming from big cities with bigger talent pools, with bigger resources. Trenton Byers, he's a small town kid fighting from a small town like Kansas City. All he has is his close friends, his training partners, and his family that's been training MMA all their lives.
That's the good thing about this sport, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter who you have around you. At the end of the day, it's how much work you put in.
Yep, absolutely.
And he puts the work in. The whole camp over there does, and that's the beauty of the sport. Again, you see 2 gladiators at the end of the day.
Yep.
Go through their training, their camp, and come in and put their efforts on display. We have a couple other, a lot of other great fights. Enrique Barcenas, Antron Petty.
That's going to be another great one.
Really, really good fight.
I'm excited for this one. I really am, especially for Enrique too, because we interviewed him a few weeks ago, and the theme that we were going with was controlled chaos. Because he was saying that he was going to be more heavy critiqued on him being in control, more calm, focused, instead of just going everywhere all at once. So I'm really interested to see how his approach is going to be. And then Antron, he's no slouch either. He's a phenomenal fighter, and you see he's in phenomenal shape as well. So this is going to be a guaranteed banger going back and forth.
Yeah, and for those who have never seen Enrique fight in the past, that's what he brings. When he steps in the cage,
brings that fire
from the opening bell to the end. Enrique is going to put freaking pressure on you. He's going to inflict damage. He's going to inflict pain, and that's how the fight's going to go.
Yeah.
And he's coming off of a loss with Devin, and that's another guy. And leading into that fight, we were talking about that build up as well. There's just two guys that really get at it.
Yeah.
From the opening, and so going back to the controlled chaos, that is definitely something that's going to make Barcenas very dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. If he's picking his spots to be explosive, if he's picking his spots to smother his opponents with all that energy, it's definitely going to make him such a more dangerous fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And, it's with Enrique, I mean, with seeing him fight so far, he even said himself, he still doesn't even feel like he's had the opportunity to really show his skill set and put his talent on display. And in this fight against Antron, that's exactly what he's hoping to do. So I'm really hoping to see, because he said he has some new tricks up his sleeve. So I really want to see what he's going to do in what avenues, especially against a phenomenal athlete like Antron as well.
Right. And speaking about Antron's coming off of a loss as well against Adam. And that was a first round
submission.
TKO. No, I think it was let me look it up. Strikes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was a first round knockout there, and Antron's, like you said, phenomenal talent as well. He's very, very, very great physique for his weight, for the weight class. I mean, they're fighting at featherweight. He weighed in at 146.5, and Enrique rated at 146.3. But I think Antron's just a little bit bigger build.
Yeah.
So, being in this division, hopefully he's able to utilize that and, turn the tide a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested in it, though. Antron likes to strike. He has a very, very wide variety of weapons.
He's very athletic. He's very flexible. Like you've seen him do a backflip in the cage. He's got some tricks up his sleeves. It's just a matter of how he's going to utilize it and get the go.
Right. And again, Enrique is no slouch.
Yep. Enrique is very gifted.
And so, being that Antron likes to stand, Enrique likes to bang, we may not get out of the first round in this one.
I honestly don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think, honestly, I would predict actually it'd probably be a second round TKO. I'm gonna predict for Antron with Enrique, it's gonna be a second round TKO.
So you're taking Antron?
No, and this I would have to say I'm taking Enrique. But what I think is gonna happen is, like we said, we have a feeling that both Antron and Enrique are coming in with a different approach. Right. So the first round is probably gonna be more calculated, feel it out and everything, kind of go from there. Right. But then it's the second round, that's when we're probably gonna see that chaos, that controlled chaos, the fire from Antron as well start to come out. And then that's when we're going to see everything's go blow for blow.
I'm going to tell you right now, I doubt Enrique's able to hold that energy for a full round. I see the last minute of the first round being fire show.
With how much fire and energy Enrique has, it won't surprise me. He's that type of fighter that it's not so much he has that chip on his shoulder, but he wants to prove something to himself. It's not about the world. It's about for himself.
And that's a dangerous person to face.
Very dangerous.
When he's not worried about what's going on in your head, he's not worried about what's going on in the arena. The only battle he's in that ring is with himself. And that's a dangerous opponent. That's a dangerous guy to fight. So moving along, we got Yurlov versus Isaac.
Yep.
That's going to be another really good fight.
Isaac, he is actually Peoria local as well.
Yes, sir. Another Peoria boy out there.
Yep.
You know, seems like every Ruf got a Peoria tie.
Yep.
You know, so all my P-Town guys out there, you know.
It shows the talent pool here in Arizona as well, especially Peoria, the Phoenix area, because look at all the rising stars now that we have coming in, such as Isaac Zatarain. Because, I mean, looking at his record, he's what, 2-0 right now? He's already off to a great start.
He's 1-0 right now. He was scheduled to fight Devin. That fight ended up getting canceled back in June.
Okay.
They ran into some issues, but yeah, he's 1-0. He was Ruf 42 was the last time he was in a Ruf cage. Last time he was in an octagon at all. So he's going up against Yurlov. I don't know too much about Yurlov.
I don't know much about him either. I know that he did come in a bit overweight, so he did miss weight. He weighed in at 147.5. Because I remember when we were at the weigh-ins, he was still out sweating. He was out running, trying to drop that little extra weight before they did the official weights in the face-off.
Right. Yurlov is making his amateur debut. So, you know, that's not uncommon for us to see. We've seen it.
It's a learning process.
Yeah, we've seen it many times. You know, your amateur debut, first camp, first official weight cut, you know, and it is rough. I mean, you've gone through it yourself.
Yeah, it's very rough, you know, especially when you're just starting out and you're just starting to understand not only just how nutrition and dieting works, but exercise, how it works for you as an individual, because it affects everybody entirely different. You know, your diet, your nutrition plan, and your exercise routine is going to be different from me based off the demand of our own bodies. So it's trying to figure that out. That's the hardest part of it all. So if you don't already have some experience, there's going to be trial and error. There's going to be...
I mean, with anything that you do, you've got to go through it a couple times to know what tricks, what corners you can cut, the things that help you here, the things that are going to, you know, counterproductive to you. So
the first attempt, I missed weight by 1.5. So I tried to go for 155, I hit 157.
And for the people out there that don't understand, like 1.5 pounds doesn't sound like a lot. But when you're weighing in at 145 and you come in at 146.5, 147, it's a big thing. It's a big difference. You know, sometimes you get X'd out the fight. Sometimes, even if they do agree, you get fined. You might lose your purse. I mean, there's a lot of other things that come along with it. So, and we've seen over the last 6 months or so, more than ever, that the weight cuts have been such an imperatively important part of the sport. Yeah,
and there's been such a demand to make a change as well.
Right.
Make a change in what's a better solution, so that way we don't have to compromise the health and the integrity of the fighters themselves, because we don't want that to get risked at all.
Right. Definitely, and that is always something that, you know, people are going to deal with. Obviously, it's part of the game. So
exactly,
it's definitely something that people, you know, you got to work on. You got to find your niche into it. You know, what makes it go for you.
Yep, exactly.
So one more fight before we actually go to
do a quick little intermission. Okay.
Patrick Quick, Derek Abernathy. This one's another really good one. Derek coming off of a loss.
No, Patrick, he's coming off a lot. Derek, he's actually coming off of a win against Chris Mangiapelli. And ironically enough, Chris Mangiapelli actually did fight and defeat Patrick. So Derek is coming off of a win of the opponent that Patrick is coming off of a loss off of. So this is going to be an interesting dynamic, because looking at just the size difference between the two, Patrick, he has the height advantage, he has the reach advantage. However, those guys can sometimes have trouble with the shorter ones. Box you in, you can engage and close up the distance.
I agree. I totally agree with that. I mean, that's definitely one thing there. I mean, Derek's a big guy. You know,
very strong.
Patrick is slender. You know, Patrick wants to stand on the feet as much as he can. especially fighting Derek in this particular fight. So it's gonna be an interesting one to see kind of like their game plan coming into it, what and how they approach everything, and how it kind of goes from there. So what do you kind of predict in that fight? Do you see that one reaching going the distance? Do you see that one being a knockout?
Honestly, I see a TKO. I see a TKO in the second round. I don't know which way to lean to because both of these fighters I know have a lot to prove. But I know I'm gonna have to say it's gonna go out in the second round with the TKO.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know who's gonna do it, but definitely gonna happen.
Yep.
So 1 second, we're gonna go ahead and go to an intermission here. Let me just get this set up. All right. And we'll be back here in a couple of moments. All right, everyone. We are back. We are here with Malik Chavez. So, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm excited. We got some fights going on, so I'm just ready. I'm just ready to be a part of all this.
Now, originally you were supposed to fight on this card, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was supposed to get another fight. I fought for Ruf December 10th at 170 pounds. This time, that was a little too heavy. So my next fight, I was going to be 155 pounds. Was training hard, had a 4-week camp, and during training, I actually blew out my knee. Dislocated it and tore bone, ripped cartilage. I mean, I tore it up bad. However, my corner said, hey, you can't fight, but how about you be in my corner and help us with the whole process? And absolutely, I would love to be a part of this.
Is this your first time going to be cornering?
Yeah, well, I've done cornering for jiu-jitsu gyms. I've done cornering for little jiu-jitsu grappling tournaments here and there. This is for sure be my first time in the big scene, in the big lights, cornering for sure.
Yeah, that's great though. It's a great experience because it's a new learning curve. You're getting to look at the art and develop yourself as a fighter from a different angle. Now you're coming in as a historian and you're seeing what typically you don't see from outside the box.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, does it give you any new jitters?
Mm.
Because usually you're coming out the back, you know, with the music.
Right.
It's usually your music,
Absolutely.
and you're usually you're kind of there to keep your calm, keep them calm,
Right.
give them some insight of what you're seeing. So does it give you a different feeling?
Absolutely. You know, like he's saying, I am used to being the main character. So this time, actually, it is a little jittering just because if I tell this guy something wrong, if I see something and I tell him something, it could be me that getting my fighter in trouble.
Right.
So I want to make sure that I'm telling him proper information, proper details, and not give him nothing that is going to confuse him or anything like that. Absolutely a little nervous, but I'm excited, and that's kind of more outweighing it for sure.
Yeah. And so you're going to be cornering for Jesus Mendez and then also for Cabo Dai Bryson. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
So from your perspective, how do you feel their camps have gone so far leading up to this moment?
Absolutely. Well, the crazy thing was that we actually had Jesus a fight about 4 weeks ago in El Paso. We drove to El Paso. We got there. Opponent didn't show up. So he was training.
The worst.
I know. And but he was training about 3 to 4 weeks before that. And they said, well, Ruf's another 4 weeks, so why don't we train on that? So I would say Jesus has had about an 8-week camp.
Nice.
Right, right.
Nice.
He's had a full 8-week camp, and the first 4 weeks was a little easy. These last 4 weeks, we turned it up. We had him waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning, working for hours. We had him training at night. We had him training during the day. We had him training at work. I mean, he was living, breathing, sleeping it.
He told me he's living in a van behind Jackson Wink. Is that right?
Absolutely, and it's crazy because my boy Jesus, he comes from a blue-collar job. He used to be a crane operator in Indiana, making good money. He said, I'm going to give up all that, sold this truck, and came to Albuquerque just to be a fighter.
Wow.
I mean, he had a good life, already had money, didn't need to do this. But that's how much he loves to fight. He gave up everything, got a van, and now he's living out there. And Kabaddi, same thing. He is doing great. His camp is great. I think he has about a 4-week camp. He's athletic. He's quick. He's fast. He looks good, you know. And so I know Kabaddi's going to be an exciting fight for us for sure.
So, you know, you got two guys that you're going to be in the corner for, and this is their first, this is their amateur debut.
Absolutely.
So you remember your amateur debut. Are there certain things that you kind of are implementing into them that just from your experience going through that?
And absolutely, and more of just letting them know how it's going to go.
Right.
They used to send a lot of Jackson fighters to Ruf. They kind of took a break period. I'm not sure what happened. I was actually the first fighter to come back from Jackson. That's been like months and months, and now it's resparked this flame. I more just told them, all right, today we're going to go to the weigh-ins. After that, we're going to go eat. After that, we're going to go to the hotel. You know what I mean? I was more breaking it down by what's going to happen.
The itinerary, like giving them a game plan.
Yes, you're going to go in, you're going to do the interview with MMA Stalker, with Head Kick Audio. You're going to check out the cage. You know, more just laying down what's going to happen minute by minute, so it's not like this is new to him. Right. He already has what was going to happen in his mind.
Yep.
That experience is big.
Yeah, it's very significant.
It's huge. It's huge. And both of them, and helping them both, you know, just kind of get as comfortable as possible. You know, I had him just go check out the cage earlier, you know, to make sure that the cage was nice and comfortable, you know, for them.
That's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So now, before we let you go, before we hit intermission, do you have any final say, any thank yous, any predictions for your boys' fight?
Yes, absolutely. My boy Jesus has been training so hard that he's earned a win. So my boy Jesus is going to come in with a win. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a knockout. His kicks are lightning fast. I mean, he gets me in the gym, and he always gets me every time with his lightning fast kicks. Kabaddi, oh man. I know if he can avoid the good wrestling of his opponent and he can keep his stand in, oh, it's over for the guy. I want to give a big shout out to Jackson, Wink MMA, and Sandia Botanicals. Thank you for those awesome sponsors.
Now, I want to, you know, since we got you here, you've had a lot of this camp. You've been able to kind of sit back and look and take a good, give us a good perspective of what's coming out of Jackson. What can we expect this year from Jackson?
Absolutely. And with all due respect to everybody, a lot of the legends that we have at Jackson's, the John Jones, the Holly Holmes, you know, was the Diego Sanchez, they're retiring now. you know, John Jones said he has a fight left. Holly Holm just signed a 6-fight contract, but, you know, if that's their last contract. We have a lot of guys in the gym yet that you guys never even heard of. You've never even seen yet, but they're hungry. They're training every day. I mean, they're grinding every single day, and we're actually preparing for their debuts. Most likely here on Ruf, you know.
Give us some names. Give us a couple of guys to look for.
Oh man. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I know. You put me on the spot a little bit.
We like to put people on the spot here.
And I mean, we're not talking about 1 dude, 2 dudes. I mean, we're talking about 10 dudes, 20 dudes. I know we have Gregoire. He's from France. He's been training at Jackson's. I mean, this guy's up and coming. Jesus, man, Jesus. He's up and coming, real quiet guy. Don't talk to nobody, but he's a killer in the gym. And I'm just excited for you guys to see all the up and coming talent from Jackson's.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by. This is our second live pre-fight show, so
Great seeing you.
We're looking forward to you get back in this cage, and we'll be doing this for you.
Absolutely, I can't wait to be back on this stage.
Yeah, man, we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Go take another quick little intermission. We'll be right back with you guys.
Shanig, man. Fuck with ASAP Sports Network, man. Tune in, stay logged in, and stay mouthed in. You dig? Yuck mouth. Yada da. Boy!
Yeah, check this out, man. It's your boy Young Dro. I'm in the building with ASAP Sports, man. If you ain't here, you ain't nowhere, man. As soon as possible, get here. You dig?
All right. We're back. Yeah, great talking to the league. You know, that's another part of the sport that a lot of people get to see. Is when fights are scheduled.
Yep.
You're in a camp 5 weeks in, and you get a fucking freak injury.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing.
Yeah, and that usually, you know, there's 2 ways that can happen, obviously. That can set you back mentally, have some hurdles to go through. It can also change the path of your career.
Yeah.
On the injury. So you never ever want to see those type of injuries, especially.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he gets well soon.
And hopefully, especially considering his case, because in his amateur debut when he fought Joseph Perez back in December, you know, he suffered from an orbital fracture. It was the lower portion of his sock, and he just said just seconds ago that, you know, he was just close to like having to get a plate there. And then, you know, he recovers, he's got lucky there. And then boom, just as he's going into another camp, he blows out his knee. So it's the behind the scenes of MMA is always such a guessing game because it could be just a complete freak accident that could just completely be detrimental to this camp. And I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy with these fighters and what they go through.
You know, so he will be cornering Jesus Mendez, like he was speaking about. We heard a lot about Jesus. Go see his pre-fight interview. He dropped some good things about him and himself, what he goes through on an everyday basis just to get to where we are at today. So he's fighting Greg.
Yeah.
And another really good guy. He's coming off of a loss.
Yeah, he's coming off of a loss against Early Padra. So I'm excited for this one because I know when he fought Early, it was pretty much all ground. You know, he felt like he didn't get much time to display his stand up, and I know Jesus just as what, and he's got flashy kicks, just as Malik was saying. So I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for Jesus not only make an epic amateur debut, but for Greg to get some of that redemption, and for him to get that chance in that moment to really put his stuff on display.
Right. No, I agree. Trying to wave down the record ride real quick. But yeah, no.
He's on a mission.
I think this is, like you said, a wonderful situation for both of these fighters to display their stand-up skills.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then moving on to the second fight that he's going to be cornering is Cabody, Bryson.
Yeah.
Making his amateur debut as well against Brandon.
Yeah.
And give us a little insight of Brandon, because you spent a lot of time with Brandon.
Yeah, so, you know, I've gotten to train with Brandon personally, and, you know, I'm a like not too big of a guy, but I'm about like 5'11". I usually walk around like 175, 180, and Brandon, I think he's about like 2 inches shorter than me, and he fights at about like 135. But dude, let me tell you something. The first time I grappled with Brandon, he picked me up and slammed me like it was nothing, and I had like 40, 50 pounds on him. So his wrestling, absolutely phenomenal. His jiu-jitsu, his flexibility, and his ability to escape traps, to be able to maneuver, is absolutely phenomenal. But it's not only that, dude. His striking is so underrated. I know he's trying to wave down Record Ride, but he's in the middle of doing a skit right now. But his striking also is completely underrated because we haven't even gotten a chance to see him put it on display.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I'm very excited about with both of these matchups is, like you just said with Brandon. Also, we were.
No, I gave it to Rowe.
Also, we were talking about.
Well, I didn't have a sixth.
So
that was Erin. She's one of the founders of MMA Stalker.
So yeah, but that's one of the things that I'm really excited about these particular fights. That we are going to see a lot of stand-up. It seems like in this card.
Yeah.
A lot of guys out here are very dangerous in stand-up and have been itching to display their weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, even with Trick, he said it yesterday. Like, man, I'm itching to show you guys the fucking tools I have in my bag for this stand-up.
Yeah,
you know, so.
And not only that, I mean, like going into the next one, even on top of it with Roderick Agyeman and Neelan Marcum, you know, both of them phenomenal strikers. Both of them just made their amateur debut last year, and now they're both going in. Hey, we're gonna have a live guest appearance with Luai Bouchard. How you doing, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
How you feeling, man?
We're waiting for me.
Yeah, come on.
Here, take my mic.
Yeah, we're live right now. Let's do it. There, if you want to go and take that chair.
Here you go. Mic up.
Sweet. How many people we got viewing right now?
There's not much at the moment.
All right,
bye. On our app and on the TV.
Sweet. Perfect.
So how you feeling, man?
Feel great. Feel wonderful. Just finished Ramadan, so, you know, now I'm all back to finally eating like a normal human being, and weight is slowly finally coming to pick up and everything like that. So it's good. Alhamdulillah. I can't be upset. Very good Ramadan.
Nice. I'm glad to hear about that.
Hey,
So for the viewers out there that don't know much about Ramadan, let them know in a little bit of how that goes.
Yeah, so Ramadan is a holiday that Muslims celebrate every year that is based on the lunar calendar. And for 30 days, we don't eat or drink water from sunrise to sunset. So, for example, during this time, uh, I didn't start. I didn't have to. I had to stop eating at about 3:50 a.m. in the morning, and I couldn't eat again until about 6:50. But the time moves as time moves forward, so kind of goes up or down by a minute depending on what season we're in. So like in the winter, it's really easy. You know, sun sets at like 5 p.m. or here. But in the summer, it's the hardest because it doesn't set until, for God's sakes, 10 p.m.
I'm fucking hungry.
Exactly. I'm starving, man. Yeah, summertime is not fun.
I know, and you were still training throughout it, right?
Yeah, I was still training. Alhamdulillah. This was honestly the first Ramadan I would say where I felt extremely strong still while I was training. These last few Ramadans, I felt very weak, but this one for some reason, I don't know what I did different really, but I was really able to focus on keeping my calorie intake pretty good, and I didn't lose as much weight as I usually did. Like last year, when I finished Ramadan, I was 175, and I finished Ramadan at 155. This Ramadan, I finished at 163. So yeah. Nice. So it was like I was doing a whole weight cut last year, but this year I was able to maintain a little more muscle mass and everything like that, which is good.
So was it a change in diet?
I think so. Honestly, I really forced myself to eat as much as I could right before sunrise. So I'd wake up at 4 a.m. and usually it's really, exactly. It was really hard. And this year I just said, you know what, you just gotta eat, dog. You just gotta eat, and that's what I did. So.
And it's nothing but respect too, because I mean that's something again that a lot of casual fans don't see behind the scenes of this fighter world. You know, they don't see of individuals like yourself. You're not only going through Ramadan, but you're still training. You're still doing all this extra work to sustain your normal way of life, your normal living, to take care of your family.
Yeah.
And it's just nothing but praise and respect for all that you guys do, especially the hurdles and the trials and tribulations that you go through for that greatness.
Yeah, man. It's but that's the point of life, is it not? You know, like if you're not going through any type of struggle, or you're not having some sort of hardship, it makes it difficult for you to grow and then leap those bounds. You know, you're not living. Exactly. It's
kind of just
exactly, man. You need that that sense of difference in your life. You know, can't feel happiness without sadness.
Exactly.
Brings you to other avenues.
Yeah, exactly, man.
You know, you got to problem solve, and problem solving helps you identify other things in yourself that you may not ever uncover.
No, I agree. I agree, man.
It's definitely something that you have to go through. Now, I saw your mom was at your last fight.
Yeah. She is always at all my fights.
That's
that
where
woman,
we're going.
my biggest supporter, right there, man. And
yeah.
It's funny because she was always there throughout all of my competitions. So when I did Taekwondo as a kid, she was always there. When I wrestled in high school, she was always there. So anytime I'm in the cage or I'm fighting or competing, she tends to be there. She always loved watching me do all my athletic sports and everything like that.
And I love the way you pay homage. When you got the ring, you go directly to her and you make sure that you show your respect to your mother. I love that part of it.
Yeah, that's a huge thing with just being Arab and Muslim in general. Like always paying respects to your parents. You know, no matter what. Like it's very especially for Arabs. You know, we kiss our father's hands when we see them. Like when I see my grandpa back home, I kiss his hand. Like that's just how we do it. It's very mafia like still. We haven't
part of the culture though.
Exactly.
Right. Now I noticed when you were getting out the ring, you had a message. The last fight. What was that message?
Man, there's a lot of misinformation out in this world, and I think we've as a society and a world, man, we've focused on the wrong parts of certain conflicts or certain political movements. And my intention and what I would actually like to do from here on out is to show the actual goodness and the beauty side of it, right? We're sitting here constantly talking about this and that, about war and bloodshed and everything like that, which does exist. These are very real issues, but if you completely, drape over the beauty of it, then you've forgotten what actually makes us human, right? Like being a Palestinian, it's more than just a conflict, to me at least, you know? It's different on who you ask, but for me and what I actually want to pursue in terms of, being an advocate for Palestinians is I want to show what makes us beautiful. I want to show what makes us strong. I want to show what we bring to this world, you know, like, I mean, just like in terms of our food and our sweets, you know, our culture, you know, how big our hearts actually are. And that's what's, to me, is more important than sitting here and talking about, you know, all the deaths, and sitting about and talking about all the murders and the fighting. And it's like, those are very true, real problems. And no one, but the entire media only focuses on that. And it's completely missed the idea of what makes us humans.
Yeah.
And that's how people connect. People don't connect through fighting, man. It's not like, it sounds ironic because I'm a fighter, but no one, that only causes more conflict. And if you, I can sit here and tell you, man, this is what my culture does, and I can see the appreciation in your eyes, or I can see how you can even be influenced by that, and you say, wow, that's actually really beautiful, how we take care of the earth, how certain things, like for instance, olive trees are a huge thing of Palestinian culture. Olive trees, we have so many olive trees. Everything is about olive trees. The olive oil, a lot of it comes from Palestine, you know, like a lot of it is Italian as well, because the Italians, they love it so much over there. But, you know, olive trees is a very huge thing and part of our culture. And, you know, a lot of people don't even know something as simple as that, you know, which is like something that you're constantly consuming and you're eating every single day, or you're using for cooking.
What it means to a whole other society. And see, and that's one thing I totally agree with you on, because you can turn on any news station, any news outlet, any TV program, and you hear all the different variations of war that's going on in the world. And there's people right here in the United States that they know of the war, of the wars, and know nothing else about that country.
Yeah, and that's another issue I do have with this world at this very moment, is that's the entire depiction of the Middle East. I'm talking, it's not even just a Palestinian issue at this point. It's an entire Middle Eastern issue. You can talk about Iran, Afghanistan, Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman, UAE, it doesn't matter. Even all of North Africa, Algeria, Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, Libya, all of those countries are having extreme conflicts. Either it's interpersonal between their government, or it's within other countries, you know? And
the crazy part about that, a lot of people know that there's wars going on over there, but they don't even know the names of the countries you just named.
Oh yeah, dude, that's
the epitome of what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm so glad that you picked that up, man. That makes me really happy. It's like, yeah, these are real people with real issues, but they, again, at the end of the day, Habibi, man, every single country in the Middle East has its own sense of beauty. And the only way you can learn that is by talking to the people from those countries. And this goes for any country in this world, man. Any country. You can go to Latin America. You can hear all the things that they say about Mexico. You can hear about all the things that they say about Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil. It doesn't matter. Unless you actually go there and you talk to the people yourself, you'll never really understand, you know, not only the struggle, but the sense of beauty that they bring to this world, man.
What are their passions? You know, and that's the thing. Like you said, like, fighting doesn't bring anyone together. Conversation does. Understanding someone underneath the layers that they put out for everyone to see. And that's where we as a country, and not even us as a country, just around the world in general, we lose. We lose out so much because we target war. We target evil.
Yeah. No.
That's why we need more people to lead by example. You know, it reminds me a quote that I absolutely love referencing by Pope Francis II back in like 29. But he said something, it's like, world peace is a matter of human faith. So long as we are trapped with the assumption that man is man and war will always exist and it will always be. But if we're able to instill the faith of peace in the hearts, the minds, and the souls of the masses and everyone, and the hunger and drive to achieve it, only then will it be possible. If all we're consumed with and all we're busying ourselves with is all this negativity, all this conflict, and not actually looking at the issues, then we're just running circles. Because at the end of the day, we should be able to shake each other's hands and say, it don't matter where we're from. I respect you regardless. You're a phenomenal human individual, no matter what.
Oh, that was beautiful. Well said. I can't believe you remember that quote so easily. You didn't even miss a beat when you said that quote. You said it like you were the one who wrote it.
I've been rehearsing that.
That's another thing. Bring it back to what we do and what we like to project is the human side of the fighters. We can sit and talk about MMA all day, but the viewers, the people that come in and fill these arenas, don't get to see anything else but that, and that's not who these people are. And that's where we like to target. We want to know about what drives you. Outside of here, what do you do? What makes you tick? And that's the same thing that you're on right now, is showing people the other side of shit, that this world drives so much on evil and war and everything else, and we don't get people. We don't get the people.
No, that's 100% true, man. That's exactly what it is. And what influences me is like the amount of great political figures that we had in the past. I'm talking about Malcolm X. I'm talking about MLK. Talking about all those yeah, exactly. Nelson Mandela, exactly. That's a beautiful example right there. Is Nelson, especially being Palestinian, because he was somebody who fought against apartheid, and he fought against all of it, and he was just, it's incredible, yeah, exactly. And again, there are people out there who are greater historians than I am, people who understand the politics better than I do. So if I'm gonna sit here and try to push a political movement, it doesn't make sense for me, right? I'm an MMA fighter at the end of the day, right? Like, I might have my master's degree, but at the end of the day, I fight. So it doesn't make sense to me to sit here and try to do more than what people who've devoted their entire lives to doing, right? Actual politicians and but since I love being Palestinian so much, I can show you that love better than I think anybody else can.
Yeah.
In my own accord, right? In my own way, is I can show that love because I in my heart, deep, I truly believe that I love being Palestinian and I love Palestine.
Absolutely. And like something I tell myself, and this one I came up with, don't worry. But I tell myself this every day, is that if you feel you have the capacity to achieve greatness or to do great things in life, then it's your obligation to do so. And it's through that obligation, not only to the world, but to all your predecessors, that you'll find not only glory, but you'll find the love and just pure harmony in all the people that you change, the hope that you bring to the ones that you need the most, the people that suffer in absolute silence, the forgotten man, to finally give them some life. That's the biggest thing right there.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. And that's the thing is, if all you hear is screams and you're constantly waking up and you have no idea if you're gonna make it to the next day, it's like, it's nice to know that somebody out there is actually still thinking of you or cares about you, or it's something as simple as just opening up your phone on Instagram and seeing a reel of somebody saying I love my people and I love my blood and everything like that. Especially when it's from somebody millions of miles away from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just exactly. It's like a different type of life-changing experience, right?
Yeah. It gives you that goosebumps on your arm, because it's like you step into the cage. Yes, you're alone in that cage with your opponent, but you take on like Atlas. You take on that weight of everybody else that believes in you, that's supporting you, that look up to you as a source of hope to get out of those bad spots. And then it lights this fire inside you that's just, you don't come across anywhere else. That's the most beautiful thing about humans in just in general, is that you have these specific individuals in our history that when they have that fire permitted to them by those that support them, you see them achieve the impossible, ungodly potential.
Oh no, 100%. The mind is the greatest thing.
Mm-hmm.
The mind can do things that we that we don't know of, and that sometimes unlocks at the most randomest moments in our life, man. And being in the cage, there's a lot of things that unlock. You can really turn into Neo sometimes, and you think you really do think you're superhuman at times, when everything just clicks and the brain is just so wired, so at the right moment, and you're so locked in.
Yep.
And everything, you are literally seeing everything, even though it's going at thousands of seconds. Everything's going so fast, but at the same time, time is just so slowed down. It's an incredible, bittersweet feeling.
Yeah. You don't want it to end, but you want it to end.
Yeah.
You don't want to be at the receiving end.
Yeah, exactly. No, you don't want none of that, man. None of that.
We need to get this scheduled. We're going to I think our show is gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a wonderful conversation. We need to get that scheduled.
I love talking to all types of interviewers, especially those who are just building up, just like I am. Like that's the most beautiful thing about all this, man. Is you guys are trying to start your own thing while I'm trying to start my own thing, and this is how we help each other, man.
Exactly.
You guys are professionals in your business. I'm a professional in my business, and the only way we can get to the top like we want, is by helping each other. Yeah, exactly. By helping
build
each other.
bridges. Stop burning them. Build them and watch them grow.
Yeah,
build them in concrete so they don't burn.
Exactly. No, I like that. I like that a lot. That's a good one. That's a
Build
good
them
one.
motherfuckers in concrete.
You guys got all the quotes just ready. You guys got some in your sleeves or anything like that? That's what I'm saying.
My little cute.
Crazy.
I got a little earpiece.
Exactly. It's crazy.
No, but before we get out of here, man, anything you want to say?
I'm grateful for everything, man. That's one thing that I learned from Penn State, actually. It's actually been passed down to me from coaches, and that was the greatest thing, is just be grateful, man. Be grateful for everything. I know for a lot of people it's probably hard. People all have different lives, different types of struggles, and are going through different things. And I guess for me, knowing that and knowing what I've been through and what I had to do to get to this point where I am right now, which isn't even where I want to finish, like I have greater aspirations. I'm still grateful for every single second. I mean, even the pain, the hardship, the love, the tribulations, everything, man.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful for the entire journey, and it just excites me to think about what else am I going to go through.
Especially with how young you are too. Like, you've already achieved so much at this age. Imagine what you can do the rest of these next 10, 20 years.
Inshallah, man. That's all I can say. God willing.
Exactly.
God willing.
Absolutely.
So when we gonna see you back?
Well, as soon as possible, man. I just got to talk to my manager. We'll have that, that nice little fighter-manager conversation, and he's a wonderful manager as well. Roman Isabel of Roman Athletic Institution.
Oh, nice.
That man, as soon as I got into contact with him, he's gotten me 4 fights. Just like that. No issue. That man works 24/7. And I got to give a big shout out to him. Like this, where I am right now, none of it would have occurred if it wasn't for him.
And if you don't know, pay the man.
Exactly. Pay the man.
Pay the man the money.
Money speaks, man. Money talks. Money talks.
Well, man, it was my pleasure to have you on.
Hey, thank you guys for having me here.
I love the surprise video. That was perfect. I love it, man.
Hey, I'm here for my boy Bobby Moffet. He's the main event for tonight's fight. And I'm going to be in his corner, and we're going to get another dub. That's how we do it at Fight Ready, man. Hey,
I know.
I will. Hey, there we go. I will.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money, Ruf. Show me the money, Ruf. Come on. You told me I couldn't sell a whole. They told me that. It's funny, man. They told me I couldn't. They said that the reason they didn't want to give me an increase in pay is because I didn't sell enough tickets. They started sounding like Dana White to all those other fighters, and I was like, all right, let me show you something. Sold the every ticket they gave me, I sold and then some, man.
Nice.
Exactly.
It was packed.
It was packed and that was a long night. It was packed all the way through.
All the way through, man. I don't play like that.
Good stuff, man.
All right.
Well, we out of here, guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Had a special guest on in.
Yes, sir.
And Ruf 55 will be back. Another pre-fight, live pre-fight show. 4:30, same time, same place, Celebrity Theater.
All day, every day. That's all I got to say.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
Rebel soul child got a fist balled, I'm a respawn of ancestors, and I'm blessed, They are not him, tell him fess up, I get check stub, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless, yeah, I got next up, right, now we not the same, cause see when I look in your iris, you likely to talk but not ready to ride, you do better keeping it quiet, my pen is ignited, my soul is enlightened, I like who I am, but I'm biased, the palette is right, and my drip is a fountain, I'm not like these regular guys, all of that talk is misguided, she like the way I make the tape print, but the way I make the words play is grim, I'm the reaper reaching for the kill switch, the label cut the check like the blazement, something sparking where his brain is, the